and the universe in general. All traditional cultures have taken it for granted that the sun is alive and that it's conscious.
Yeah, and not only that, also space weather. Little bit of X-ray flux in the mid-B range. BT-BZ still jumping all around. Corona hole connection still in place. Large increase in the proton density. Last I checked, 20 protons per cubic centimeter, and an uptick in the wind speed also. The main news, check out the magnetometer spike. We're going to tie it to the Gong 2 data. Also, take a look at Venus's magnetotail, right here. Big swings in there, as well as Earth's, which is the yellow disk, by the way. Let's look at the Gong 2 global oscillation network. I draw your attention to this area here where you see a bulge in the magnetic lines. That's an area where you're going from a weak connection to a direct solar connection, which explains the magnetometer spike and the sudden increase in proton density. A great demonstration of how plasma and magnetism go together at a time of solar minimum. Check it out. Keep in mind this is 2-hour-old data. That magnetometer spike is because of this direct connection area. All right, and so the solar wind is up to 359 kilometers per second. Solar wind density 30.03 protons per cubic centimeter. All right, let's take a look at the geomagnetic perturbations. They're going to be big with magnetometer readings like that. Not too shabby. Big blobs out off of Australia. Southern Indian Ocean. Let that play through again. Also near Svalbard Island. Here's the same model from the poles, thanks to University of Michigan Geospace Department. Up to 300 nanotesla out there. Let that play 2 times. And while I have your attention, have a look at the Gong 2 line of sight ecliptic plane. Sorry, line of sight field plot, complete with polar fields. Again, keep in mind, the data is 2 hours and 5 minutes old. Now, back to how we started the video. Anybody ever heard of the Earth-facing quiet effect, where sunspots seem to turn down in intensity when they're facing the planet? Have another clip.
Superorganism, where the individual animals become like cells in a larger organism. But this same pattern carries on throughout the universe, that the Earth is a self-organizing system. Gaia is a self-organizing. The whole point of the Gaia hypothesis is that the Earth is a self-organizing system. The solar system is self-organizing. There's nobody pushing it around, adjusting and tweaking it. It organizes itself. The sun is at the center of it, but it's like a gigantic organism.
And just as those are self-organizing systems, so are you. So organize yourself to thinking about Cygnus X3, for instance. An insane X-ray binary with one of the poles pointing directly at the sun. If you were the sun and you were conscious, who would be your pals? Who would be your parents? Would they be Sagittarius A-star? Who would be your colleagues from halfway across the galaxy? Would they be massive X-ray binaries? Think about the similarities of the way your brain and nervous system and the universe and the galaxy are structured. Consider the way a thunderstorm is structured, the dendritic patterns of the son of a bitch. Consider a thunderstorm and the way the lightning and the clouds themselves are formed on dendritic patterns associated with electrical currents. And lastly, consider the electrical connections on your local yellow dwarf star, known as the Sun. We do calculate a computer's power by determining how many calculations it can do at the same time, right? If that's a computer, one that operates the same way as your brain, how many calculations do you think it can do?